Now let us look at shapes and text box under insert. Now what I'm going to do is I'm selecting this bar and changing the color of the bar. You can do it in two ways. One is go to home tab, select the color, and whatever the color you want to do, you can do that, or you can give right click, format data point, and also fill color. You can also go and fill whatever the color you require to fill. Blue, you can do like this. Either of the ways you can select. Now I want to say something about this bar, why it is high or why it is low, so on and so. Now move on to layout, text box, insert a text box over here. I'm inserting a text box. Sorry, there is something wrong. Select text box. I'm inserting a text box. I'm just giving some description. You can also change the color of the description, blue, red, whatever you want. Now from here I want to insert a nice shape and showing that this is related to this bar. Insert shapes, insert arrow mark. So you can also increase, go to format object, increase the width of the object which we have inserted like this. You can also increase the width of the object. The rest of the options we have already seen. So earlier in this session we have missed to add this one, arrow settings. Now you can use these settings. How do you want to show the arrow, end type of how it should be, end type. So how do you want to show this arrow, begin size, end size. See, like this you can make use of these options. You can also change the arrow type, something like this. Clear. So like this you can also make use of these options. However, inserting shapes and text boxes not only on the charts, can also you can use these options in Excel also. Go to insert and insert a shape, some nice shape from here, give nice shape from here, and change this style like this and write something in that. Whatever you want. You can also change the style of your write-up. See how it is showing. You can see like this, or you can assign some macro for this. Assign a macro. You can assign any macro for this. By clicking this, that macro will be executed. However, we did not talk about any of the macros so far. Clear. So this is how we can insert text box shapes into our chart. Now let us move on to the next. This is called label group. Under label group, under this label group we have different options. Chart title. So none means there is no chart title. However, there is no chart title, you don't require to select this none. Centered overlay title, click this one. Now it is centered to the entire chart. It is overlaid, not on the top of the chart. It is on the chart itself, not on the top of the chart. If you want to change So if you want to give some nice name, you can give something like this. Or how do you want to show this? You want to show whether overlay or on top of it, above the chart. Now it is moved to above the chart. This is how you can make use of this chart title. If you click none, the chart title will be disappeared. Now move on to the next one, axis titles. Primary horizontal axis title. This is none. Actually there is no primary axis title. You can click on title below the axis. If you click OK, now it will be below the axis like this. Like this. Clear? Primary vertical axis title. How do you want to show this vertical axis? None means there is no title. If any title, if you click none, that will be disappeared. Rotate title. See? Rotate title, this will be given like this. If you click vertical title, it will be changed like this. This is how it will be shown. If you go and select horizontal title, it will be shown like this. Based on your requirement, you can change it. However, first select horizontal title, and then you can also change it from horizontal to vertical or rotated title, something like this. It is based on your requirement. However, you can also show this primary axis values in tilted format, something like this is like flat. Clear? Now we can also change this to tilted format, something like angle rotation. You can also rotate the angle like clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, or rotate up, whatever you want to show. You can also do the same like this. You can show it. Clear? Rotate up and all like this. You can also show that. So now secondary horizontal axis. So far we have seen primary horizontal axis. This is primary vertical axis, secondary above the axis, title above the axis. If for this it is asking for, if you want to show this one, you can also show, otherwise you can leave it. Since we have two axes on the same chart, it is asking like this for us. These options are available. Now let us move on to the next option called secondary vertical axis, rotate till title. This will be available now. It will show on the right side. See, this side, because there is one more axis over here, hence it is showing over here. If this axis is not available, these options will not be shown. All the options which are available or shown are based on the context. Clear? So this is how we can make use of axis titles. Legend, whether you want to show the legend or not, or where do you want to show your legend. Show legend on right side. However, it is showing on the right side. Show legend on the top. If you click this one, this legend will be shown on the top of the chart. Right. Show legend left side. If you want to show the legend on left side instead of right, it will also show like this. Overlay legend right. So if you click this one, it will be available on the chart itself, and it will be overlaid. Overlay legend left, it will be left side on the chart. If you click no or none, it will not be visible on the chart. However, I will stick on to original state. I am deleting this one. I don't require this one. Right. Clear? Data labels. Now you can observe these bars are available, but I exactly don't know what exactly the value of this bar. I'm sure the value of this bar is 75,000 to 80,000. So it is exactly in between 75,000 to 80,000. But what exactly the value of this bar? So this is how this requirement will be solved through data labels. So center, if you give center data labels, so the value here is 79,110, this bar. So we have selected center data labels. However, we can change data labels from center to inside end, inside base, outside end. Select for which you want to show the data labels. Select the data series, then show data labels, inside end. Now let me check this one. So inside end, it will be shown like this. Inside base, see, base we have selected, it will be shown like this. Outside end, it will be shown above the data series. See, now it is showing above the data series. You can also observe the value of each here like this. Clear? If you select direct data labels, it will be shown for each and every bar. It means it is also showing data labels for the secondary axis also. If you want to specific to that particular data series, you have to select the data series and use the data labels. If I select data labels none, it will be disappeared for the entire chart. If you select only this particular bar, have to select a particular bar. When you select, say now I am on my chart, I am selecting the chart, I am going to select data bar, data series, or the bars which are available over here. When I click on any of these bars, all the bars have been selected. Have to select one bar. One more time, if you click, only this bar will be selected. If you want to show the data label only for this bar, you can add this one. See, you are able to show the data label only for the particular bar which you have selected. In the same way, you can also do it for secondary axis. If you select this one, again click one more time, it is been selected over here, data labels above. See, only for this. Now I am able to see only 2 data labels. Clear? Hope you understand. If you want to show data labels for each and every data series, then select chart area, data labels, outside end. Sorry. None. Select plot area, data labels, outside end. You have to select the series at all, at any cost. Actually, we don't require to do so. So it's okay. Based on your requirement, if you want to show it for all the data series, just select the data series and show data labels and outside end like this. It will be shown. If you want to select the second data series, it will be selected. If you want to show it for second data series also, you can see the data labels for second series also. So you can also see all the data labels like this. Clear? Now data table. So far we have observed data labels under labels. Now data table, none. Show data table. So from where these values are exactly coming from, if you want to show the data table, you can show the same data table. See, the same data table. This is source table. Clear, right? So the entire source table can be viewed in the chart itself by selecting this option, data table. You can show the entire data table below the chart. However, you can click none to not to show that. Data table with legend keys. You can also show this option with legend keys like this. Clear? You can delete legend from here and show over here, or I would like to stick on to original state. Clear. This is how you can make use of more data table options can be visible over here. See, border color, you can also give nice color to the data table. Horizontal, how do you want to show these lines in between? If you don't want to show these lines, horizontal lines can be disappeared, vertical lines can be off, outline can also be like this, you can also show. However, I would like to go ahead with this one. You can also change the color of the table, data table, gradient fill or something like that. These are all the options which we have already observed. Like this, you can do the same. However, I would like to click on no. Clear. Next, axis. Show left to right axis or show axis without labeling. Show right to left. See, when you click none, no axis will be shown. See, horizontal axis which we have selected, this horizontal axis will be disappeared. We are talking about horizontal axis. If you want to show horizontal axis left to right, it will be shown 2005 to 2015. Now what I am going to do is show axis without labeling, show right to left axis. See, it will be shown from right to left, 2015 to 2005. Like this, it will also be shown. Based on your requirement, you can make use of these options. However, these are all these options are not something like not critical to understand. It is very easy for you to understand. By selecting this, you will be able to observe whether it is surviving your purpose or not. If not, then go with another option so that you will be able to understand how it works. Clear? Now I would like to stick on to left to right. Clear? In the same way, vertical axis also. Show default axis, axis with thousands. So it will be shown like this, axis with thousands. Clear? Earlier it is 10,000. Now it has been changed to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31. Because it is anyway showing it as thousands. So user can easily understand these values are in thousands. Like this, you can make use of this. Vertical axis. Show axis in millions, show axis in billion, long scale or something like that. However, there is also more options which are available over here. You can make use of these options which we have already observed. You can also fill the entire data series like this. You can also fill automatic, which we have all these options which we have already observed. Clear? Secondary axis, this is talking about this one. The same thing can be applied to this also. Secondary axis title and secondary vertical axis and secondary horizontal axis, primary vertical axis and primary horizontal axis. How do you want to show these axes? If you don't want to show this axis, then select this axis, select this axis and go to axis, vertical axis none. Like this, you can also see horizontal axis none. However, you don't need required to select. I have selected. However, you can directly go to axis and click none. Secondary axis, if you don't want to show, none. You can see a chart like this. Clear? I'm again restoring. Clear? Like this, you can show it. Another one is grid lines, which we have already observed in the earlier, not in depth. Now let us go in depth. So primary horizontal grid lines, major grid lines. Major grid lines are already lit up. So you can observe major grid line is already lit up. See over here. Now minor grid lines, if you click minor grid lines will also be added. If you want to see all major and minor grid lines, you can see all major and minor grid lines. However, we have already observed that how do you want to show minor grid lines for each 2000 you want to show a minor grid line, for each 5000 you want to show minor grid lines. We have already observed earlier in right click format axis options. See here, for each 2000 you want to show a minor grid line like this. These grid lines will be available when you select major and minor grid lines. Vertical grid lines, major grid lines, minor grid lines, and major and minor grid lines. I would like to show all major and minor grid lines. This is how it will be shown, both major and minor grid lines. Secondary vertical axis, both major and minor grid lines can also be shown over here like this. Clear? You can also go with this one if you want to fill solid grid line or something like no line, solid line. If you want to change the color of, see, the grid line color will be changed. You can also select the major grid lines. If you are unable to select through this, you can go to chart elements and select major grid lines and minor grid lines. See, select minor grid lines. Now we can give right click and format axis, fill, solid fill. Sorry, we have to go with the minor grid lines, right? Open this format chart area. Now select the chart, go to minor grid lines, select minor grid lines. Now line style. If you want to change the width, you can change the width. If you want to change the color, you can change the line color, no line or gradient line, solid color, in which color you want to show it, yellow color or what, like this. You can show the minor grid lines color, or you can change the minor grid lines color. Clear? Now go to plot area, show plot area with default color fill. Say what I'm going to do is I'm selected plot area, selected chart. See, when I'm trying to select the plot area, it is selecting major grid lines, minor grid lines. Because of that reason, in this kind of scenario, chart elements will be very much helpful for you. Select plot area. Now plot area got selected. What I'm going to do is I'm giving right click, format axis, go to elements, select plot area, solid fill. Clear? Assume that this is what I have selected. Now go to plot area. If you click none, it will delete everything. If you show plot area with the default color fill, it will show like this. Earlier it is the default color fill. If you click none, it will delete. Anyways, since I have already selected default color fill, it is showing like that. More plot area options. This is what we have already observed. Clear? If you want to add a trend line for this, you can also add a trend line, linear trend line, exceptional trend line, linear forecast trend line. You can add something like this. Since rate is not visible over here, let us add it for none. Select linear trend line, for value. Click OK. Now a linear trend line has been added. See? Clear? Now error bars. If you want to show error bars, you can also show. See? These bars have been added. You can see that none. I'm just unselecting grid lines. Now you can see these error bars. You can add error bars over here. Then chart, this is chart 4. However, you can give nice chart name and you can call in your macros, or while you are selecting your chart you can call it chart 4. Now I am giving interest. Now my chart name is interest. This is interest chart. Like this you can rename the chart. Clear? Layout is clear. Now moving on to format. See, earlier you have observed that inserting a shape, or see, insert shapes. After inserting a shape you can format that shape with different style colors, which we have already seen. However, you can also observe the same styles can be applied for the chart too. See, like this you can observe. You can select your chart style like this. Based on your requirement you can select these ones. I would like to stick on to this. Clear? Now shape fill. If you want to fill a shape, if a shape is inserted, you can also fill that particular shape with different color. Whatever the color you want, you can do that. And how do you want to show the numbers and description or the letters on the chart? See, hope you're observing. See, when I selected a particular thing, it is changing like this. See, please observe on the chart how it is getting changed, the values and letters. This is how you can select. This is all based on your requirement. Clear? This is how we can select. Now I would like to stick on to this one. Text fill. How do you want to fill your text? See, interest rates is getting changed. Text effects, shadow effect. Say for example, I've selected this, and text effects, glow effects. How do you want to show that particular text? See, like this you can give nice glow effect or something like that. Selection pan, anyways we have observed selection pan in earlier session. One of my earlier sessions I have explained about selection pan. Please do refer my earlier sessions. Now I am deleting the entire chart. I'm going to explain about pie charts now. Insert all chart types, select from all chart types. Select a pie. This is 2D pie chart. Clear? However, we have observed chart styles earlier in this session. You can select whatever the chart style you want. I would like to stick on to the default chart style. Now giving right click, format chart area. There are different options which are available over here. Now what I'm going to do is, now earlier in this session we have seen this. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm rotating the chart. If you want to rotate the chart, you can rotate like this. Clear? If you want to rotate the chart, you can rotate either in 360 degrees, or you can also give number over here at what place you want to stop the chart. And pie exploration separate. So if you observe, all these data series have been together, you are able to see. If you want to separate it, you can also separate like this. You can show. Clear? I have selected, because of that reason it is showing like this. Now I am selecting entire data series together. If you increase, it will be like this. Most of the PDF documents will be shown like this. It will be based on this PyExploration. If you decrease this one, it will be like this. See, it will be like this. You can also change this using keyboard like this. You can also show, instead of this one drag and drop, you can also give some number over here. It will be changed like this. Clear? Like this. You can also increase or decrease PyExploration. If you want to change only particular data series with any of the values, any of the color, you can also fill the color. Clear? Border color. If you want to change the border color, nice grid line or something like, you can also give some nice border color. All these options are very easy to understand. Only thing you have to understand is from where these options will come. Just give right click and format chart area. You will get all these options based on the selection. If you select pie chart, these options will be changed like this. Clear? This is how 2D pie will appear. Now let us also check very important thing, a 3D pie chart. I'm going to insert a 3D pie chart, 3D pie chart. Now assume that you are a sales executive and you are an IIM student. You have to give some presentation to the nice directors in the industry. You want to capture, or you want to increase the sales, or you want to let them buy your sales or whatever it is. You want to concentrate all the directors outside of your market. They have to concentrate on your company. How can I do that? Assume that now what I'm going to do is I'm changing the value as 13%. Now assume that you are from J and Co, where the percentage of J and Co is 13, whereas T and M is 27, M and A is 28. But since you are from J and Co, you want to present J and Co's information should be highlighted, and it should be attracted by the other members to invest in your company. Assume that. So if you observe, basically by clicking on the pie chart itself, you will be seeing your company. Here it is, J and Co in blue color. By seeing this, no one can be attracted for your company, because when you compare with these two companies, this is very low. Though there is no data labels attached to this, these are very low. So how can we manipulate the data? See, what I'm going to do is selected the chart area, rotation. I'm using rotation. Now I have rotated. Under 3D format, width, height, there is an option called 3D rotation. Clear? Give right click, you will get 3D rotation. Here, how do you want to rotate this? we have already did the same thing by selecting this and give right click. You can also do, but now what I'm going to do is giving right click, 3D rotation and perspective. This is very important thing. It is actually 15%. Now I'm changing it. If you observe, see, I'm changing the prospect of which my company's color has been increased based on the prospect. From the user's perspective, if you observe, though the J&Co's market share is very less, that is only 13%, but it is showing very high over here. Clear? We can also do one more thing over here. I'm just closing this one. Select this data series, and what I'm going to do is I am separating it together, or not from all the things. I want to separate only the blue color one. I am selecting the blue color data series. Just move a bit. See, now you can observe that we have manipulated the entire thing to attract the buyers or to attract the other person who is looking at a market capitalization or something like that. You can do the things with 3D rotation and prospects with this, like this. You can make use of these options.